With nearly 46 million people, Uganda, the landlocked East African country, is one of the fastest growing African countries. The country's excellent climate, fertile soils and diverse landscape provide immeasurable opportunities that are not often realized by millions of smallholder farmers, women, and youth in marginalized communities across the country. In 1991, the United States African Development Foundation, USADF, initiated the foundation's Uganda program, focusing on creating pathways to prosperity for farmer cooperatives, producer associations, smallholder producers, small-scale agribusinesses, and small and medium-sized enterprises. In addition, USADF invests in off-grid energy and youth-led enterprises. Since 2007, USADF has partnered with the government of Uganda to invest more than $22.4 million in 117 farmer cooperatives, producer associations, and small-scale businesses.
You know, nearly 15 years ago, the idea of USADF partnering with African host country governments to co-fund grassroots economic development projects was nearly unheard of. But fast forward to today, and USADF has partnered with nearly 10 African national and subnational governments. And one of the first we established was with the government of Uganda. And we're now celebrating nearly 15 years of this truly impactful partnership. Through it, USADF and the government of Uganda so far have co-funded agricultural enterprises to the tune of nearly $22.4 million to improve lives and livelihoods for Uganda's smallholder farmers.
Currently, both parties match funds for up to $1 million each a year to support agricultural enterprises. USADF does development differently by utilizing a community-led development approach and a pan-African network of local implementing partners to support African-designed and African-delivered solutions.
These are vulnerable groups, and the project has covered over 112 projects over the years. And we have seen big results in terms of poverty alleviation, improved farmer incomes, and addition of value to their produce. They are more organized, and the people, our people who have gone to the field have been seen tremendous improvement. No wonder this project has been ranked as one of the best performing, not only in Uganda, but also in Africa. It's a small project, but has given us big results.
As USADF's board chairman, I'm tremendously proud to learn of these and similar impact results stories. Beyond that, I'm grateful that this partnership with the government of Uganda has inspired other African governments to entrust USADF's model of bottom-up development to foster sustainable solutions and create pathways to prosperity in communities in their countries.
In addition, USADF provides grant capital, capacity building assistance, and convening opportunities to develop, grow, and scale African enterprises and entrepreneurs who improve lives and livelihoods. On average, for every $10,000 in USADF grant funding in Africa, 25 workers are hired in the agriculture sector and 19 by youth-led enterprises, while 79 people are connected to electricity. To ensure that all goes well, the foundation relied on a community-led development approach, supervised by a local implementing partner, Uganda Development Trust.
Why these programs work is the way we handhold the clients through the process, through the start. At the time when we go to help them set up business plans, you are opening up. It is like, you remove a web over their site because they are looking like this, hosting brands. But you want them to see the bigger picture.
USADF connects community enterprises with capital and technical support organizations to create and sustain jobs, improve income levels, achieve greater food security, and address human development needs. Major activities funded by the partnership include acquiring modern agricultural processing equipment, improving storage facilities, obtaining fair trade and organic certification, establishing agricultural input and crop finance funds, training farmers on the best agronomic practices and strengthening the institutional capacity of the cooperatives, producer associations, smallholder agriculture producers, and small and medium enterprises, SMEs. Through the partnership with the government of Uganda, USADF has funded 112 projects to a tune of $15.9 million, creating 241,330 direct jobs. Opening up more land to grow more groundnuts here in Kweyo Ongako in Omoro district is the latest craze. Many smallholder farmers are now guaranteed farm inputs, a tractor, and market for their produce. Ever since Kweyo Growers Cooperative received a $248,000 grant, groundnut farmers in this part of Acholi in northern Uganda are happy. The cooperative's members no longer have to brave the hot sun while digging. A tractor is always at hand to open up acres of land in a few minutes at subsidized fee.
Before, people were using rudimentary hoes, right, and the ox plow. The ox plow can do typically 1 acre in 3 days. People can dig like 1 acre in 4 days, right? The tractor can do 13 acres in 1 day, right? That meant actually the members were able to open up more land because the land was not an issue here. It was just the ability to work on the land. So we were able to open up more land, meaning production increased. So we diversified even our crops.
With digging out of the way, most farmers like Gladys only plant and later come to weed before harvesting.
Bepa fuano kete kakar macharo chane pere. Irom char bot James wani chane na purure manake kwanya ke chifu potane. Ke bion fuoro yenyo chane mo mot ke chule la chan kere bedi chamu kete charo chitero.
After harvesting, the groundnuts are delivered at Kweyo High-Tech Peanut Processing Facility. They are tested for moisture.
This is 13.0, correct?
And later weighed for accuracy. The nuts are then poured into this modern thresher. The clean nuts are then put in the roaster before being released for further processing. On the conveyors, the nuts are slowly cooled by standby fans towards the final machine that carefully removes the skins. To ensure quality, the clean nuts go through a metal detector. The cooled nuts are then trapped and subjected to further scrutiny of more pairs of eyes. These women in this room ensure that overcooked groundnuts are picked out before the process continues. The sorted nuts are poured into the crusher that churns out the final peanut paste. From here, the paste is ready for packaging in containers. After branding, the containers are assembled and packed for the market.
The technical support, the wealth of knowledge we received from not just the members of UDET, but also from USADF when they come to visit us. They give us experience that we didn't have here before, has actually led us to a place where we can now stand on our own 2 feet.
In southwestern Uganda's district of Kanungu, business at Kayonza Growers Tea Factory is brisk. Previously, the factory produced tea for mainly export. But today, Kayonza tea is becoming a fast-selling item on shop floors across the country and beyond. It all starts here in Chihihi. 3 years ago, this cooperative won a $250,000 grant from USADF. The grant looked to aid this factory improve on its prospects and in turn improve its members' standards of living and the wider community. The immediate plan was to build this modern tea packaging facility to stimulate homegrown market for the tea. It is from here that Kayonza tea is inserted in tea bags, branded and packaged for the ever-growing tea demand in the country and beyond. The same building also shelters the sachet-making machines. It is these two machines that are flagging the Kayonza tea brand high.
We've really benefited a lot from USADF because we are now able to compete locally in the market, and we have increased our market share for local sales, and this income has really helped to improve the welfare of farmers.
Besides the packaging unit, the fund also purchased a lorry to distribute the product. Part of the grant helped train farmers on best practices, purchase of farm inputs, modern financial systems, weighing scales, standby capital, and fertilizers, among others. For outgrowers like Charles Ryoka, USADF's intervention was timely.
The prices were improving. We started getting payments twice a month, and at the end of 15th of every month, then at the end of the month. And this helped us very much because these workers used to demand a lot of advances from us which we didn't have. But when they started paying like that, then we became comfortable.
The newfound factory's profits are spilling over into community reinvestments. The factory donated this new maternity facility at Cheshero Kayonza. The development is a relief to expectant mothers.
Ngenda kusema baturetereje ubuhereza bwahiye aka twa turabona kuza kunyegera handi kuza kucebereza tubonabona kuza kwata picho kagenda bwene wowe na uri kushashwa nka kuba turetire igwariro rya hihi twaba kurunje umuntu obuhereza ni hihi washashoka cyora wayijire.
Still in Chihihi, USADF ran to the rescue of another struggling community in Bwindi. Although this Buhoma community near the Bwindi Impenetrable National Park has set up this rest camp facility to tap into tourism and boost community development, it needed expansion. It is on this premise that it applied and received an expansion grant in 2014. Both facilities are community-owned with a view of plowing back profits to develop the community. The forest is home to the mighty mountain gorillas, and gorilla tracking is one of the selling points for this lodge. These 8 beautifully designed twin double cottages and one family cottage all have good views of the rainforest. This cozy facility has been a source of the much-needed support to Buhoma Development Association, BNCDA, which manages community projects.
Before we used to have only one budget camp, but now we have a high-end Haven Lodge accommodation, which has attracted many tourists to Buhoma Community Rest Camp Limited, and it has made us improve on the earning. As a result, people are benefiting a lot. We again thank USADF for the generous support they gave Buhoma Community Rest Camp Limited. Thank you.
The projects include Buhoma Community Primary School, Buhoma Community High School, health insurance for 8,000 members to access treatment from Bwindi Community Hospital at a subsidized cost, among other benefits. Over the years, smallholder farmers on the foothills of Mount Rwenzori have grown and produced sun-dried Arabica coffee at low price. Lack of working capital, infrastructure, exposure to international markets, and managerial capacity always hindered their desire to get better proceeds for their efforts. In 2014, they had a breakthrough. Through their umbrella organization, Bokonzo Organic Coffee Farmers Union Limited, they applied and received a grant from United States African Development Foundation. Majority of the members in this cooperative are women smallholder farmers. The grant has so far benefited 13,825 farmers.
Mwemi yetu eritwechicho kwa bisibu ebyathuwithe omwamaka wethu kwilabiriria abandi banabiriyihira hanu hemithungu omundu iniathunga emithungu ye ini hanu hakasente kake inia yaula ekisoro ikyeshethuka erimuwathikya okwa school fees eyabana.
Armed with this grant, they quickly set up a central warehouse and a coffee processing facility, procured equipment including a truck and motorcycles to use in moving produce and extension workers respectively. Today, the facility works around the clock to clean and add value to farmers' coffee so as to attract better pay. Previously, the cooperative could only collect half the container from its farmers, but of late, they send out more than 5 containers per season.
We get fair trade premium, we get organic premium. The fair trade we get goes back to the community to do development work, social projects. The organic premium goes back to the farmer. And this one helps the farmer to also be able to meet the needs of the family and also to make some investment in coffee.
Part of the training here emphasizes picking of only ripe coffee berries. Once they are picked and sorted, farmers pulp them using some of the 30 pulpers provided. It is such pulped coffee beans that are later taken to the cooperative's facility for drying and hulling. With all this effort in place, the union has gained both organic and fair trade certification for 771 farmers. This acclaim has increased demand for Rwenzori coffee on both local and international market. The grants aspect of ready crop finance has been a stimulus for farmers' quest for quantity and quality coffee production in this part of the Rwenzori. Most coffee meetings always end in joy, as farmers' joy in these communities cannot be hidden. From about $8,000 loss to $547,000 annual turnover. This is the story of Manyakabi Area Cooperative Enterprises in Kaberebere in Isingiro district in Ankole region. The cooperative is composed of 146 women groups growing beans and maize. Though these groups worked hard, their incomes remained low as the cooperative lacked training, ready market, farm inputs, and cash flow to add value to their produce. They used to sell bean and maize grains at low rates, but of late, they are a major maize miller, supplying Western Uganda and neighboring countries. By 2016, the cooperative had sunk by $8,000 debt, about 30 million Ugandan shillings.
The working capital was not enough because we could not compete favorably with the middlemen because the middlemen had money. So it was cash down payment for middlemen, and for us, we didn't have that money. So we could not compete favorably, especially those farmers who need immediate cash funds.
Part of the grant money built this structure: a maize miller, an office block, and other amenities. On arrival at the facility, the farmer's grain is tested for moisture, weighed, and the details are recorded. With these records, farmers are later paid through the digital payment system using mobile money. Those that opt to have their produce stored for better prices in the days ahead are offered storage facilities. With value addition, the farmers are paid better and also earn from other byproducts. The cooperative often trains its farmers on farming practices and has put in place a well-stocked input shop. It is from here that members are given well-priced seeds, herbicides, fertilizers, and farm implements to boost their farms.
Eduka yitu yitwihamwe embibo netuyamba abwensonga noizaho tine sente ojo tumumpembo kunda asharuru niza kubagarura ebicoro byabo kubara bakwakira abiri noza kuteka mu 5 ziba 25 hataho gaba magoba gachi nkage kibina.
At the facility, employment has risen from 7 to 40 members. The youth from this area are always at hand to load, offload, weigh and record stocks of produce coming in and leaving. Bean production has also been greatly boosted by the grant. Farmers are also employed here to ensure that the beans leaving this facility are of high quality. All these processes are in conformity with the post-harvest handling trainings received. In eastern Uganda, the United States African Development Foundation continues to change smallholder farmers' lives. Busia is home to sweet cassava. It is a staple food and grown by most families. Although the crop does so well in this area, it did not have a matching monetary value. But for the last 3 years, cassava growing is getting attractive. In Sihubila village, farmers are uniting to grow more and earn big. The motivation is this cassava processing plant, constructed in 2018 with $244,759 grant from United States African Development Foundation to Sihubila Area Cooperative Enterprise Limited. Previously, the cooperative operated from this structure. Today, the enterprise has a new home, fitted with a cassava processing unit, office block, store, and a modern solar dryer. Part of the grant went into training farmers, capacity building, financial management, a new truck, and running capital.
The grant has inspired farmers. It has motivated them to be part of the cooperative movement in a way that we have now a crop finance fund where a farmer brings a raw material and we pay cash on delivery. So that one alone has motivated them to join the cooperative because they know there is market for their produce and there is available money that they will not again have to look around for markets.
Today, Were from Busime Sub-County, Busia, is harvesting. His group mates are at hand to help him. Such collective efforts are now common as cassava gardens are everywhere. They carefully harvest the fresh cassava and carry it to the weighing area. From here, the cooperative's truck collects it. After loading, the truck proceeds to the factory. At the factory, Were witnesses the weighing process.
Kote factory ndalimere na mani kumogokano ndatimbaho mukayumba.
The cassava is then thrown in the washer. When the tubers are clean, they undergo peeling before being chipped. It is this chipped cassava that is then taken to the clean, airtight solar dryer. The dried chips are then fed into the million, where pure white cassava flour is produced to attract better prices for the farmers in the local and regional market of East Africa. The cooperative's membership has grown from 2,100 members to 2,511. Cassava farms and farmers in this area are growing in numbers. The project has been an eye-opener that indeed cassava can be a cash cow for this community.
Before this project, in my 3 acres, I would get around 2 million shillings, and with a lot of hard work, because you weed these long ones, the weed comes fast. But with this one now, in my 3 acres, I expect, and I've been getting 10 million shillings. I want to plant more so that in a year I can get around 20.
The USADF program has been lauded by government of Uganda for transparency, accountability and effectiveness in the achievement of intended results, including increasing both food security and incomes for farmers through community enterprises. Increased income of cooperatives and enterprises from $26.4 million to $128.3 million, and export sales of cooperatives and enterprises increased from 38 billion Ugandan shillings to 253.3 billion Ugandan shillings.